Okay. Hi, Anna. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Linda. How you going? Thank you for letting me know. Hopefully you can hear me again, and hopefully I'm not too loud. So, fingers crossed everything's going to play by the rules now, and hopefully it'll all work. So, as you can see, this is a whole new mic setup that we only use for live streams. We don't use it for my other videos or for while we're out and about. Obviously, I can't take this with me. And this is a whole new setup. So, it's worked in our test streams and it's worked in the background, and then of course today when we needed it it's bottomed out. So I'm going to keep an eye on the mic, so if I do go silent again, we will be working on it, so hopefully things will be okay. So stick with me. But it's lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. This is a whole new setup, so we've got a whole new camera, a whole new mic, all that sort of thing. So we were playing with it and testing it pretty regularly, and we think we've got everything set up the way we need it to be, but there may be just a few issues every now and again. Hopefully we'll be all right from now. So we'll see how we go. Just double checking the chat and everything. Annette, hi, how you going? Nice to see you. There's so many people on. This is fantastic. So, all right. What I just wanted to check is I cannot see my chat moving. It's sort of frozen, so I'm not sure Mr. Yarniverse is going to check that for me again, so you might see his arm coming in and checking that for me. So
no, that's it. That's good.
That's all good?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're ready to get going.
All right, so today I just wanted to, and you're right, Annette, YouTube has been naughty recently. I agree. It's not playing with me, so I'm not happy, but we'll get through it, I'm sure. We're surrounded by yarn, so it's always a good day when that happens, isn't it? So I've got a couple of things to chat about. Yesterday I went to Lincraft because they were having a sale. So for everybody overseas, we have two major yarn or craft chain stores here in Australia. We've got one called Spotlight and one called Lincraft. Now Spotlight's the bigger of the two. They do more advertising. They're the bigger sort of chain, and they have a lot more locations around the country. And Lincraft are sort of the smaller of the two. At least particularly in every area I've lived, there's always been a massive Spotlight, but the Lincraft has always been a lot smaller and have a lot less stock. So when we hear that either one's having a sale, I love that, obviously, because it pushes the prices down for all of us. But sometimes Lincraft don't really have as much range or as much yarn available as the Spotlight does. So I tend to stick more to Spotlight. But yesterday I went into our local Lincraft to have a look around because they were having 40% off store-wide, which is fantastic. And I showed the members a bit of a look around so they could see what that looked like and what our Lincraft's like. And so while I was there, I had a bit of a look around and I found some yarn that I just wanted to show you. So I'm just going to switch to a new setting. So hopefully this all looks okay and you can all see this. This is the yarn that I picked up yesterday. So this is a Lincraft cake. So you probably are used to seeing Karen cakes and things like that. We get Karen cakes here too. Sometimes our Spotlight sells them. So this is Lincraft's sort of version, or their own branded version of that, I guess. It's 100% acrylic. It's quite a nice gauge, a nice weight. So it would be like a thick DK. It's really lovely. You can see its composition is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. Now, that might sound like it might be a little heavy, and you're absolutely right. I actually made my Hexie Cardi out of this, you know, the one I'm always wearing with the red and the green and the yellow, the really bright coloured one. It's my favourite. It's actually the first wearable I ever made for myself. And I'd only been crocheting for about 6 months when I tried it. So I'm really proud of that one. So when I saw these were back on sale, I thought I better load up in a different colour range, and maybe I'm going to have to make another Hexie, I think. I really loved this color combination. I'm hoping that's showing up okay on camera. It just looks lovely. And what I like about it is that you've got the ability to color pool with it, which is great. So that's probably in my future. We've got another hexagon cardie coming up, I think. But what do you guys think of the color range? So what can I see? We've got talking about the weather in New York. Oh, is it cool and rainy today? Oh, it's like that here today, actually. Morning from the Mornington Peninsula by hook or by needles. Good morning. Nice to see you. Popping in to leave a thumbprint. You like the top-down camera? That's fantastic. Oh, great. Tanya loves the colors so much. Aren't they beautiful? They just sort of blend really well. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to go from the center out and color pool that way, or maybe from the outside in. I'm not quite sure yet. I have to play with it. So I think what I'm going to do is separate the colors into the different cakes and then work out what order I'd like them to go in. I think that works really well. I think that's a really lovely color. So I got 6 of these, and I think they were only down to $8, which is fantastic because it's a 200-gram ball. So pretty happy with that. And it needs a 5.5 mil crochet hook. So it's a pretty lovely looking yarn. And I got, 6 balls of that. So that should be enough to make me a hexie. I think I used 5.5 in the last one. So 6 should get me through it, I think. But that's a really nice yarn that I just wanted to show you. And yeah, absolutely 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It does get a little heavy for a hexie cardie, but it's incredibly warm. The wool, that 20% wool, just gives it that extra warmth. So it sits lovely and it's nice and soft like an acrylic, but it's got the warmth of the wool. So it's a lovely brand. I really like it. Okay, so what else did I want to chat to you about? Oh, that's what I want to chat to you about. I received some lovely happy mail from the lovely Tanya at Hodgepodge Crochet. So I need to say, if you haven't checked out Hodgepodge Crochet, please do so. She's got a wonderful group on Facebook that's really, really supportive of each other, and her YouTube channel is fantastic and full of tutorials. So definitely, if you haven't already, please go and check it out. She's a lovely person. She's here in the chat with us today. So hi, Tanya. And thank you for all your support. That's just lovely. But today I'm going to open that happy mail from her. I'm just going to check the chat again before I do that. So what have we got? By hook or by needles. Last time I bought those cakes, they were $5 on special. Oh, maybe I got ripped off then. Annette's making a Tunisian stitch blanket with that mix. Oh, that would look lovely. That would be gorgeous. Polly, hi Polly. Polly's saying she's got a question about the lovely background display. What do you use to keep moths and other yarn-loving critters away from your stash? So, and she's got some enclosed bags with some cedar balls. Cedar balls are a great idea. I use lavender, and specifically lavender oil. So I put lavender oil on cotton balls. I keep banging the mic. Sorry. I put lavender oil on cotton balls and then just sit that in like the lid of a bottle or like a little plastic container that'll sit it in, and then just pop that around the yarn because you don't want it to sit on the yarn because it's oil, it'll stain the yarn. So you need it to be near the yarn but not on it. So that seems to work really well, and it's got a lovely smell too. You just need to do that every couple of months to refresh the oil. Last time I went to Bunnings, I found some little they're lavender wardrobe hangers. So you're supposed to hang them in your wardrobe to keep them away from your clothing and everything. And I've actually got them hanging on the wall behind the shelf. Because there's no back on this shelf, I can reach straight through to the other side of it. So I hung a little hook on the back of the wall and just hung the little wardrobe hook. I've got it here somewhere actually. Here we go. So I use these. So it's called Brunnings Lavender Clothing Guard. And it says specifically that it will protect clothes from moths, not cloths from moths. Active ingredient is lavender oil, which is exactly what I normally use. And they look like this. So it's got a little hook on the top of it, and you can just hang that around your clothes or around your yarn, and that just keeps any little creepy crawlies away, and you just replace those every couple of months. I think I'll probably go back to just using lavender oil on its own, but I ran out of oil and I couldn't find any at Bunnings, so I just grabbed that while I was there. And this has been working really well. Plus it smells lovely in here, so a nice bonus. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can get that at supermarkets or anything, but if you can't use, or if you run out of cedar balls or you're looking for an alternative, this works quite well. And it makes your yarn smell beautiful. So a nice little bonus for that. What's everybody else saying in there? Everybody's talking about where they live. That's fantastic. Was a long time ago, Mel. Yeah, I hear you. Yep. So yeah, maybe $8 is a bit of inflation, maybe from the $5 that you got it from. I think actually last time I bought it when I made my hexie, they were only $6 actually. So that's probably closer to the mark, being $8 now. I mean, it was 40% off, so I think they're about $14 or $15 full price. Either way, I think we both got a pretty good bargain. All right, so yes, I got some lovely happy mail from Tanya at Hodgepodge, and I haven't opened it yet. I wanted to open it on camera, but I'm a little bit dubious about what she's put in here. She can be a bit of a funny bugger, so let's see what she sent me. And firstly, look at the gorgeous packaging. Look at this. Hope this package brightens your day. Oh, isn't that lovely? Tanya, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. And can I just say, I wasn't expecting people to be sending me yarn and things like that. I honestly thought maybe I might get a postcard or two, or maybe a handwritten letter from someone that doesn't use emails or is not a big computer fan or anything. So to receive stuff like this is just lovely. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful of you. Thank you. All right, let's see what you've sent me. I've been waiting to do this for ages. What have we got in here? What is she saying? Don't hate me. Oh, well, that depends on what's in here, doesn't it? Alright. Geez, you wrapped it really well. I don't think I've ever opened a package in front of someone online before. So this is a big new thing for me too. Alright. Let's get into this. All right. Well, it's really stuck in there. Hopefully I don't cut anything I shouldn't. I've been trying to be very careful. Ugh. That was very securely packaged. Well done. Okay. All right, what's in here? What have you done? Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, Tanya. Aw. Susan Bates soft ergonomic crochet hooks. Oh my goodness. 4, 5, 5.5, 6 and 6.5 mil. Oh, wow. Is this a subtle hint to ask me to do a review? Is this how you get me to do reviews now, Tanya? Oh, that's so lovely. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cry. Oh, thank you. That's gorgeous. Look at those. I would never have been able to find them in Australia unless somebody was selling them at a market or something. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh, they're beautiful. What else have you put in here? I'll read that later. There's a lovely little note in there, so I'll read that later. I'll pop that aside. What is this? Oh, what have you done? Oh, you bugger. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Okay. Just double check. Oh, there's something else in here. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Brush cleaners. All right. Thank you so much, Tanya. That's lovely. And also, you're very cheeky bugger. So, for anybody who hasn't seen my review of the Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn, I'm just going to grab some. So, this stuff here, it was a very interesting review because I basically struggled all the way through it. It took me almost 3 hours to make this one granny square because I struggled and struggled and struggled, and I had to keep frogging my work. Every time I did a row, I had to frog it. So it took so long to make this square, and I said at the time, I know there's another flower one where you can make flowers in your granny squares, but I'm not touching that one. And so what did she send me? The all-in-one flower power. Tanya, you cheeky bugger. Well, how can I not do it now? I mean, I guess we know what my next video is going to be, don't we? Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you. And what a lovely combination too. You know I love my purple, so thank you. That's just lovely. What have we got in the chat? Haha, you're going to love that yarn. I hope so. I'm sure I will. Oh, wow. I saw that review you did, Mel. It was not your favourite yarn. Yeah, that's correct. It was not. But having said that, it did make for interesting viewing, didn't it? I had to come up with some alternatives to curse words when I made that video. Oh, wow. All right, so let's have a look at this gorgeous yarn. Look at that. Purple, we've got some white, and we've got some pink. So if you haven't heard of this yarn, essentially what it is Yarnspirations decided that they would make a yarn where you, instead of having to fasten off and change colour every row when you're making a granny square, the yarn just basically changes colour for you. So they give you a length of yarn that is one colour, and that's sort of designed to be that first row. Then it changes again, and then it changes again. So ideally, you can just sit there and crochet with it without having to fasten off each round. But it didn't exactly work with this particular yarn. So apparently they got a bit of feedback on that and decided that they'd give it another try, and they're making flower power granny squares. So got a lovely little flower in the middle of those ones, and apparently they've tinkered with the design a little bit, and this is supposed to be slightly easier to work with than the other one was. So here's hoping that is correct, because that was a bit of a marathon. So maybe I might spend a whole day filming this next video and give myself a little bit more time because I wasn't expecting this one to take as long as it did. And it was an interesting experience, let me say that. But I'm really looking forward to working with this one now. So thank you, Tanya. That's just lovely of you. That's really, really just so thoughtful and also a little bit cheeky, and I'm not going to forget that. But thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And those beautiful hooks. Look at that. I want to take one out of the packet, but I don't know if I should. Should I keep it for a review maybe? Keep it for the video? No, you know, bugger it. I'm going to have a look. All right. How do I open this without wrecking it? I don't know if I can.
For 1 second.
Hello,
Sorry.
Mr. Yarniverse.
Hello, Mrs. Yarniverse. How are you? Hello, chat. If you want to, you can scroll that chat up.
Oh,
so if you
okay.
do miss anything or feel like you've missed anything, you can just use the trackpad to scroll that up.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Doing amazing.
Hey, thank you. All right, I think I'm going to have to rip it. I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel badly, but I keep doing this. Why do I keep doing this? Okay, there we go. We got one out. All right. Let's have a look at this. Wow, what a gorgeous hook design. Look at that. I love that it tapers off at the end, so it sits in your hand, but it's not too thick all the way down. I love that it's got that flat section there. Like, like your buoys and your arrows do. And it's an inline hook. Okay. Wow. Wow, how pretty. What a beautiful little design. And look at the colours. Look at those gorgeous colourways. Aren't they gorgeous? Just lovely. So, Tanya, do you use Susan Bates a lot? Is that a favourite hook of yours, or is it just something that you thought that I might like to have a look at? I'm interested and curious about how well received Susan Bates are. I hear about them all the time, but obviously being in Australia, I don't get a lot of access to these sorts of things. So let me know for sure. Annette, I suppose the hook and tension makes a difference. Yeah, it absolutely does when using these yarns. I think I tried 3 different size hooks. And again, this granny square, the tension on this is ridiculous. The middle is quite normal, has a normal tension. This next row is quite loose. The next one's really tight. And then the next one again is really loose. So, and then the outer edging is really, really tight. So the tension on it is just terrible. Like it's really stiff. There's no drape or flexibility in it at all. It's shocking. It's shocking. I've made this one granny square with this ball of yarn and I haven't touched the rest of it since. So, and that's why. And considering it took 3 hours to make this, I could have made like 10 granny squares in that time. So yeah, that was a mission, I can tell you that much. Okay, so these hooks, I'm loving the feel of this. That rubber there, it's not quite as smooth as a clover or more. But basically it's like a thin covering for the aluminium, so you're not working with just a plain aluminium hook. Okay. Wow. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see how I go with another inline hook. So the only other inline hook I've got is a Knit Pro interchangeable hook, and that was really lovely to work with. So I kind of want to use this right now. No, I won't. I'll do a proper review of them. Thank you, Tanya, again. Thank you so much. That's just so lovely of you. I was not expecting that at all. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's just lovely. All right. I'm going to set those aside and just put those over here. Let's get rid of this yarn. Put that back there. Oh, they're just lovely. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. Okay. And pop that over there as well. Now I have another package to open that I actually ordered. Sorry, Tanya, I love Susan Bates hooks. I knew you didn't really have access to them, so I had to send you some. Thank you so much. That's just so kind of you. Thank you. Okay, I want to get good at amigurumi, but it's a long process for me. Yeah, amigurumi can be. Again, there's a lot of rules and things to it, depending on if you listen to crochet rules. Being able to work with smaller hooks and getting those stitches really tight means you have to have really good control of your tension so that you know how to get those small stitches and no gaps in between your stitches. That can be a thing. Trying to find appropriate yarn, particularly plush yarn, can be a really tricky thing. A lot of plush yarns break, or they shed, or they snap, or have a lot of issues if you're using plush. If you're using acrylic, it's not so bad. Acrylic's great. I love using acrylic for amigurumi because you can get really detailed with the work and you can really see the stitch definition beautifully. Whereas with plush yarn, it's a little easier to work with. You don't have to be as specific with what you're doing. Your stitches all look pretty uniform as long as your tension's okay, and you don't have to struggle too much with having really tight tension to keep those stitches so close together. So there's just a few amigurumi tips for you. And speaking of plush yarn, I think I found some. I think that's what's in my package that I need to open. I ordered some yarn from Source of Fibre, which is an Australian yarn retailer. I've never ordered from them before, but they have some plush yarn that I wanted to try. And I think that's what's in my package. I ordered it and then went thrifting and found some granny square blankets. And you guys know how much I love my granny square blankets. So, sorry, Mr. Yarniverse.
You can switch to full face when you just talk. So
Okay. Yep, thank you. So I ordered this yarn from Source of Fibre quite a while ago, and I completely forgot all about it because I went thrifting and found some granny square blankets, and I kind of buried the package from Source of Fibre underneath it. So when I moved the blankets the other day, I found it again. I went, oh yay, I've got some stuff to look at. What did I order? So I've completely forgotten what I ordered. So let's have a quick look at what's in here. Okay. So it's actually quite a big bag. I forgot all about it. Alright, let's get this open and see what's in here. Alright. Ooh. Well, that doesn't feel like... Ah! There's a chopper chop in there! Ah, that's awesome! Oh, cotton. I ordered some cotton as well. So I'm on a bit of a search for a good quality cotton. Every time I find some at Spotlight or think I've found a nice new brand of... Dude, put that back! Hey, put that back, you cheeky bugger! There's someone trying to steal my chopper chop. Rude. Every time I think I've found a nice brand of plush yarn, no, sorry, of cotton. I'm getting distracted now because I was so traumatized by someone trying to steal my chopper chop. Oh, and now I've hit the mic. This is going along smoothly. Yeah, every time I think I've found a nice cotton, either when I start to work with it, it either splits or the stitch definition isn't great or it's really rough or there's always an issue with it. The only cotton I've been able to find that works really well, that's really soft and that just works no matter what the project is the Bendigo Woolen Mill cotton. It's just lovely, absolutely beautiful stuff. But every time I buy cotton from Spotlight or Lincraft, I end up being disappointed. So when I saw that Source of Fibre had their own brand of cotton, I thought I'd give that a try and see how that goes. And of course I ordered the purple, which is very me. So, but I originally went to them to find some plush yarn. So this is their Unreal Chenille. Because I don't think at the time there were many colour choices. I think that's everything. No more chopper chops? No. Alright, so firstly, let's look at this cotton. So this is called Clear as Cotton. It's Source of Fibre, so you can see that there. It's an 8-ply DK 100% cotton. So they recommend a 4mm hook. Hand wash or delicate machine wash, dry cleanable, do not bleach, do not iron, do not tumble dry, dry flat in the shade. So let's have a quick look at it. For an 8-ply cotton, it's actually quite thin, I have to say. That is a very thin cotton. Very thin. So it's very delicate, and for 100% cotton, it's actually quite soft. So you know how sometimes cotton can be really rough and you can feel that texture on your fingers and it sort of catches and it just feels rough. And it's particularly when you want something to use like as a face scrubby or something that's going to be on your skin, you don't want that rough texture. So trying to find a nice soft cotton that still looks good and still is easy to work with is really tricky, I've found. But this might be okay. It's very thin, but it is quite soft. Quite soft. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. Now, before I move on to the plush yarn, let's have a look at the chat. Hello to all the new people that have joined. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Darren McKean's made it. Yay! You did catch a live. Yay! Hi, Darren. It's so nice to see you. Yay! Mel's been unboxing like a mad woman. I sure have. I sure have. Thank you, and to everybody that's just jumped in, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We've just been looking at some crochet hooks and some yarn, and I found a package that I ordered a while ago and completely forgot all about and had no idea what was in it, and I forgot I'd even ordered this cotton, so we're having a closer look at that. So as you can see, I got four balls of that, and there's, I think, 100 grams. Let's have a look. Die lot 3. Yeah, 100 grams, which gives me 235 meters of cotton. So I've got 400 grams here. So that should be enough to make a couple of things, actually. If you've got any ideas for me, let me know for sure. But yeah, it's quite a thin 8-ply, which is interesting. So I'll just have a look at those strands. Yeah, it's very, very thin. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what I can turn that into. That's quite a nice looking colour. So I'll just pop that over there for now and look at the plush yarn. So this is the Unreal Chenille that I ordered. This is Source of Fibers brand yarn. So you can see the different colours I've got. So I've got like a light pink. It's called Strawberry. This is like a tealy greeny blue. I'm not sure. It does look pretty accurate on camera, actually. I'm having a look at that screen now, and that's pretty accurate to the actual color it is, which is great. So that's called Tub. Tub, okay. And then we've got like a creamy white color, and this is called Macadamia. It's quite a nice color, actually. It's lovely. Okay, so this one's made in China for Source of Fiber. It's 100% polyester. They're 100 gram balls, which gives you 68 meters, which isn't too bad for plush yarn. Hand or delicate wash, dry cleanable, do not bleach, do not iron, do not tumble dry, and dry flat in the shade. So these are quite lovely. So I'm not sure if I need to do a review on these guys. Let me know if you'd like to see one. I'm more than happy to put together a pattern. Maybe I can make another octopus and compare them. And I'll let you know my thoughts on it. It looks kind of more blanket, like more of a blanket yarn than some of the other plush yarns that I've worked with. I'm not sure if you're going to get that texture or not. But yeah, it looks more like a blanket yarn. For us Aussies, it looks similar to, what was it? Blankie? Modavira Blankie. So it's got that blanket look, not the soft fibers. It's more like well, it is soft, but it's a bit, not quite as delicate, I should say. It feels like a thick tube of plush. So yeah, more like a blanket yarn than some of the other plush yarns I've worked with. Colors are lovely. Not as soft as, say, your Parfait Chunkies. You know how they're really, really soft and really quite delicate? This is not that. This is more blanket. So I could see blankets and beanies and stuff being made with this, whereas Parfait Chunky I would use more for amigurumi and really soft things. So yeah, but I've got those there, so I can maybe do a review on those or have a play with them and then let you know what I think of them. So, but this is from Source of Fiber. So again, she's an Australian yarn retailer, and I hadn't bought from her before, so it'd be interesting to give that a try. All right, so there we go. I just want to check in with the chat. How's everybody doing? What are we looking at? We're looking at My Tiny Tennessee Home Garden. Oh, what a lovely name. Hey Mel, I can't believe I caught you live here. Let's switch back for a bit. I can't believe I caught you live here. I typically enjoy your videos every morning here in the States. Oh, she's in Nashville, Tennessee. Hi, Kristen. You've got a lovely YouTube name. That's gorgeous. My tiny Tennessee home garden. How lovely. Okay, by hook or by needles, would love to see a review on the Unreal Chenille. And their corduroy yarn too. I have heard of their corduroy yarn. I haven't ordered any, but yeah, the Unreal Chenille I'll definitely do a review of. They're always fun to do. And plush yarns, you can pretty much tell as soon as you start working with them whether they're going to be reliable or not, because some of them snap, and as you know, you try and do a magic circle with them, and as soon as you pull it tight, it either snaps or it just pulls all the fiber off the thread, and you can have so many issues and so much fun with plush yarn, can't you? Yep, thank you. Would love to see a review of, sorry, read that one. Always wanted to visit the Grand Ole Opry. That would be lovely. That'd be great fun. I've been there, but not to see a country music show. I saw John Cleese from Monty Python. Oh, wow. That would have been amazing. I love the Python boys. How much fun. That would have been great. Wow. Annette sending prayers for all the suffering from the storms. Oh, that's lovely of you, Annette. So it sounds like there's some pretty heavy weather heading towards Tennessee and Texas. Oh, I'm thinking of you guys. I hope all that goes well. Okay, well, what else have I got to talk to you about? I do have something else to talk to you about. So, a couple of weeks ago, my parents dropped in to visit us because we weren't feeling very well at the time. Poor Mr. Yarniverse had damaged his ankle. I'd had some pretty bad migraines, so we were sort of laid up a bit. And when they dropped in, then we had a bit of a chat, and I asked Mum about her spinning wheels. And she did say that she still had her wheels. Now, I thought she'd actually sold them because of the arthritis in her fingers. But she said that she didn't use them as much anymore, but she did still have them, which was fantastic. So I was really happy with that. And I kind of asked very gently if she'd be interested in teaching me to spin. And she was more than happy to. So I think it was last week, might have been the week before, I went out to my parents' place and had my very first spinning lesson. And it was so much fun, I have to say. It was great fun. I absolutely loved it. And while I was there, I'm just going to reach across here and I'm going to switch back to these. Here we go. She gave me this book, which is the Ashford Book of Spinning. This one was actually my grandmother's book. So apparently the two of them decided they were going to learn together. So they sat in the front room at my parents' house, and the both of them tried spinning, and Mum basically said they sat there for hours and hours, just over and over, spinning away, trying to get the hang of it, practice. And they worked really hard to learn how to spin. So I got my very first lesson, and it was using an Ashford spinning wheel. I believe that Ashford are a fantastic brand of spinning wheels. They're made in New Zealand, actually, which is not far from here. Love New Zealand. I've been there before. It had a beautiful visit. It was wonderful. But I didn't know how to spin then, so I just thought I'd give you a quick flick through this book for anybody that's interested in spinning, or if you are a spinner yourself, by all means let me know. Look at the beautiful patterns. They've got patterns in here. It's more about you learning the technique of spinning, and getting the different weights and thicknesses in your yarns. So she's marked a page in here, how to ply your yarn. What have we got? Something's happening in the chat. Oh, welcome to Yarnies. Oh, by hook or by needles, are you a Yarnie now? Aw, you guys are lovely. New Yarnie, yay! So for anyone who's not sure, I have my members set up here, and I call my members the Yarnies because A yarnie is someone that collects yarn and has little hidden treasures and stashes of yarn all around the house that people may not know about. And she's gifted 10 memberships. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That's so lovely. Thank you, Sam. Oh, how beautiful. Thank you very much. That's so lovely of you. Carol saying, yay for learning to spin. Thank you. My first wheel was the Ashford Traditional. I rented from my guild and ended up buying it. Oh, how wonderful. A few years later, I sold it and bought a Louette. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Wow. Wow, Ashford are great. The wheel I was landing on was an Ashford Traveller. And I loved the design of it. So I love the look of the traditional. I love the obviously traditional big spinning wheel, very Sleeping Beauty and everything. I love that. But Mum's was a Traveller, so it's more of a stand up wheel. So it's all in alignment, and the pedals or the treadles are at the bottom. And that was fantastic. And I really loved that. Something else is happening in the chat. What's happening? Oh my goodness. There's so many things, so many members. That's just lovely. Thank you so much, Sam. That's just such a lovely thing to do. I've actually got tears in my eyes. I'm trying to concentrate on spinning and I can't. So lovely. Princess Leia, welcome to the Yarnies. Yay. Oh, how wonderful. All right. So spinning aside, essentially I have memberships in the channel, which is fantastic. Oh wow, Magic in the Forest, thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh wow, so many people are joining. I keep getting distracted. Thank you so much. You're all so lovely. You're so lovely. That's a super thanks, I think, for $5. Magic in the Forest. That's so lovely. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I'm actually gonna cry. Wow. Thank you all so much. You're just absolutely lovely. When I started this channel, I did it because I was very much isolated because I had been unwell and I needed to find a community that I could learn from, that I could grow with, and I could bond with and connect with, because I was somebody that worked in the disability field and I was always helping people, and I was always working really hard to help other people to live their best lives and do the best that they could with what they had. And I worked really, really hard and I really loved my job. And when I couldn't do that anymore, I felt really like I had no purpose. And so when I was finally physically able to do something, I tried crochet. And I tried crochet because both my mum and my nan are amazing crocheters and knitters, specifically knitting with my nan. She was actually a professional knitter. She worked for Panda and Cleckheaton and some really big brands. And so when I needed something to give me back that sense of purpose and ability to make progress again, I tried crochet and it just sort of clicked, and I found the crochet and just yarn craft community to be so lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yadowith. So supportive. And that's what I'm seeing in the chat today. Thank you so much. You're all so lovely and you're all helping each other and talking to each other. And I love to see that. And that's exactly what I needed at the time. Because I'd lost my community. I couldn't be part of that anymore. And so starting this channel and finding all of you just absolutely made my day. It was exactly what I needed at the right time in my life because, again, I felt so isolated. And even though my mum's only half an hour away, because I couldn't move or do anything, she may as well have been on the other side of the planet. She was always checking in over the phone and coming to visit, but I couldn't go to her. I couldn't sit with her and crochet. And so I felt very isolated. And bless his heart, Mr. Yarniverse did everything he could. He went and got me yarn and he helped me find crochet hooks and he supported me 100%. And that was lovely. And he has been taking care of me and we've been looking after each other. And as I've been growing in my crochet journey, I've been able to share all of that with all of you. So I didn't want to be one of those YouTube channels that that has 40 or 50 years of experience and can give you tutorial after tutorial and can teach you all of these wonderful things. I'm a YouTube channel that is one of you. I'm on this journey with you. I'm learning like you. I'm growing and trying different things, and I will try different yarns and I'll try different hooks and I'll try all of those things, and I can share all of that with all of you. And you made me feel so welcome and so part of the community, which is what I needed. And so I thank you so much. And as much as I can, I try and share my experiences with you so that you can learn from my mistakes and from my successes. And if I can show you crochet hooks that work really well and things that don't work so well, or yarns that I enjoy working with because they work so well, or different tutorials on small things that I've learnt, then I'm more than happy to share all of that with all of you. And I just appreciate that you're there for all of that, and that you encourage me and you support me and you help me to keep going. I really, really love that. So thank you so much for all the support. It makes my day more than I can ever express it. So thank you. Just going to check through the chat. So Mel, my daughter is autistic. Sian, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Welcome to the Yarnies. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining. Thank you. I hope you feel like you're part of the community. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate that. I'm just going to go through and read some of the chat that I missed. Mel, my daughter's autistic. I understand disabilities. Yeah, my son is too. I find your channel very relaxing when I wake up in the early mornings here. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. My son is autistic. Yeah, there's a lot of us here that have family members and friends that are autistic, and we're aware of the disability field, and there's a lot of us that understand that world, which is sad really, but also very beautiful because it means we all understand what it's like, and that makes a difference. And even those that don't have that connection still understand what it must be like to be in that world, and how incredibly isolating it can be, how stressful it is. So my son is autistic, and I raised him on my own. Had to navigate through what we have here in Australia is called the National Disability Insurance Scheme. And essentially that is a government funding program that people with disabilities can access to purchase supports that they need to help them live their best life. So instead of being put away in institutions. They are now funded to live independently out in the community and have support workers come and take care of them, take them out into the community so that they can go to work, so that they can go and have fun with their friends and just experience life in any way that they can. And that's brilliant. So I raised my son. I ended up navigating the NDIS system as a parent, and then I joined the NDIS as a local area coordinator, and I worked for the NDIS, and then I worked in an NDIS support providers organization. So I went from being in the NDIS to working with other families, helping them to access those supports and putting all of that support in place. And then I was working as a support coordinator, so arranging and organising supports for people and families that were accessing the NDIS to get as much support as they could for their loved one or their family member that needed that support. So being part of that world and navigating all of that to be able to help them to access those supports just meant so much to me, obviously, as a parent of someone with a disability, to be able to understand where they're coming from and what their needs were, and to hear people saying, oh, I can't deal with this week, I'm too stressed, I can't understand what's happening, can you please fix this? Or why are they sending me these letters? Or why didn't my support show up today? Or all that sort of thing. And then after COVID hit, I feel like a lot of people now understand what it's like to be isolated from friends and family, to be unwell and not be able to access the things that you need. And I feel like there's a bit more of an understanding in that area now, which unfortunately came at a huge cost, but I feel like it was a very happy thing, a positive thing that came out of all the negativity around the whole pandemic and all that sort of stuff, which was awful for everybody that had to endure it. But the one positive is that people, at least in my area, some people have realized how isolating that was and how much of your life was impacted by not being able to go out. And it's like, okay, well, imagine if your whole life was like that and you never got to go out because you didn't have any support to access the community and you didn't have the things that you needed to live your life. You can't do all the things that you want to do because you didn't have them available to you. Well, that is people with disabilities experience all the time. So it was inconvenient for people during COVID, but when you live your life that way, then that's not great. So a bit more understanding of getting people into the community and being part of something, joining groups, being part of that, finding that connection is really important. And that's what I was hoping to do with this channel. And so far, I'm so proud of what we've been able to achieve together. I love these live streams, to be able to talk and interact with each other, to be able to help somebody. So if someone's having an issue, if I keep smacking this mic, I'm so sorry. I'm so not used to it being there. But if you're having an issue with a particular pattern that you're working on, or if you're not quite sure of a technique that you want to learn, or your pattern asks you to make a certain stitch and you don't know how to do that, you can always bring that to this channel and say, Mel, I don't have an idea. They're asking me to make a puff stitch or a bobble stitch, or what's a popcorn stitch? I don't know what that is. How do I do that? Can you help me? I'll always put together either a short or a video, or I'll comment and explain what that is, or if I'm aware of it. If I'm not, I'll go and look it up and do my best to find that information. I'll come to the community and ask in the chat, is anybody able to help? And we can all help each other to grow as crafters and as a community. And I really love that. You guys are just brilliant at being able to put your hand up and say, I know how to do that, or check out this tutorial here, it'll show you everything you need. And to be able to have have access to that is just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I love that. If I don't know, one of you guys will. And I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for not only supporting me, but also supporting each other. It's just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful to see. And it's so heartwarming. I just love it. I'm just going to double check the chat again. Thank you for sharing, Mel. You're very, very welcome. You're very welcome. Danielle, I have had nothing but trouble with the NDIS. Yes, I've heard that. My son is 26 on a disability pension. NDIS keep making excuses. Yep. It's very difficult. I can tell you, Danielle, if you have a good support coordinator, they are worth their weight in gold. A good support coordinator will provide you with all the information you need to be able to make an informed decision about the supports that you need, and they will go to bat with the NDIS for you. That's their job. They deal with the NDIS, so you don't have to. So if you don't have funding for a support coordinator, contact the NDIS and ask to request it. Let them know that you need help to implement your plan or your son's plan or your daughter's plan. Let them know that you need that extra support, and your support coordinator should be dealing with them for you so you don't have to. That was my job. That was my last job. I was the shield between the NDIS and the family. It was my job to sort all of that out. It was my job to deal with the issues that the NDIS were giving us. And it was my job to find the resolution so I could take that back to my families and say, this is what they said. Here's what I've done about it. Here's how we're going to handle this situation. And here's the resolution. So you shouldn't be having to worry about the NDIS. That should be your support coordinator's job. So, and if they're not doing that, then maybe you need to look around and see if there are other coordinators in your area, because a really good support coordinator will earn their money, but they will be very much worth it. So that would be my advice there. If you're struggling with the NDIS, please find a good support coordinator and let them do their job. So yeah, that's the best way to deal with them. Princess Leah, I totally agree. It took us about 5 years to find a good cause. Yeah, absolutely. It can do. Unfortunately, the really good ones can sometimes have full caseloads and can't take any more clients. They can be very hard to find. Some are very lazy. They're quite happy to take their payment and not actually earn it, but that's their job. And you are your child's advocate, and you have every right to push back and say, do your job or I'm going somewhere else. That funding is not guaranteed to any support provider or any program. It's your child's funding. It's your loved one's funding. It's your family member's funding, or it's your funding. And it's meant for a purpose. So if any one of the providers that are being paid from this plan are not doing their job, feel confident to push back and say, if you're not doing your job, you're not getting paid anymore and I'm going somewhere else. You have choice and you have free will, and you have every right to say, I'm sorry, I'm not happy with your service, I'm going somewhere else. And feel free to do that. All right, so getting back to yarn, I think I saw somebody ask me about the rustic tweed from Bendigo Woolen Mills. Let me have a look. Yeah, sorry, there we go. Can we see the rustic yarn you bought from Bendigo Woolen Mills? Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Okay, I'm just reading through the chat. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, go for it, Danielle. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. You've got every right to. Yolanda, such an important position, Mel. Yeah, it really is. And it was difficult, but well worth it. Well worth it. When you could see the families and the clients benefiting from your hard work, then that made everything worthwhile. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at that rustic yarn. Sorry, I'm just getting stuck with my computer here. All right. So yeah, spinning I am very much looking forward to. I will be looking for a second-hand spinning wheel. I'm keeping my eye out on the Facebook Marketplace and on Gumtree. I'm looking for a decent Ashford if possible. particularly because both my mum and my grandmother used them. So I'd love to be able to keep that family tradition ongoing, and to be able to learn something that's been handed down from generation to generation for so long. I mean, spinning yarns existed for so many years, so long. And so to be able to continue that would be wonderful. So I'm going to keep my eye out for a good second-hand wheel until I can get the hang of it. And if I pick that up, then by all means, I will share that with you for sure, to be able to be starting this new journey and this new experience in the yarniverse and be able to share that with you from the very beginning is just fantastic. I sort of came to YouTube after I'd been crocheting for about a year or two, maybe a year and a half, I think, when I very first started. So this is a new learning experience that I'm going to be able to share with all of you, which I'm really excited about. All right, so let me grab that rustic tweed, and I'll be back in a sec. Give me 2 seconds. Actually, we might just have a bit of a tea break, so I will be back in a couple minutes. Not long, maybe 2 minutes, just so I can have a bit of a quick drink, and I'll be back very, very soon. From that, so I've put in my coffee order. Actually, it's a chai. So hopefully I'll be sitting here with a nice, lovely, warm cup of chai very, very soon. Thank you, Mr. Yarniverse. We appreciate you. So let's just check in with the chat again. Tanya wants to buy my first hank. Absolutely, it is done. It will be yours for sure, and you don't have to buy it either. I'll just send it straight to you. Lou Run, yep, absolutely, go for it. Wow, I was cooking and listening only to come back and find you've been gifted a membership. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that absolutely lovely? Just thank you once again for for everybody that's sent in super thanks and that's gifted memberships, for everybody that's just for being here, just watching is huge, and I really, really appreciate that so much. I really do. But for everybody that's gone super thanks and gifted memberships and everything, that's just above and beyond. Thank you so much. You're just, again, such a supportive community, and I just love you guys. You're just awesome. Thank you. All right, what else have we got? Congratulations, I have an Ashford, and so does my mother. They're just lovely design wheels, aren't they? They're just beautiful. Wasn't a specific travel model, but was still light and easy to take to Spinners Guild nights. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Lovely community of caring, sharing souls. How lovely. That's exactly right. Within even just the Yarniverse itself, there are so many lovely people, and so many people willing to give not only their time and their energy, but their support. So to teach you new skills if you're not sure how to crochet or knit, or oh, here comes my chai. Thank you very much, Mr. Yarniverse. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, just such a lovely community of sharing and caring people. Just beautiful. But spinning, yeah, I'm really looking forward to learning that. It's a skill set I've always wanted to learn. Sorry, I've got pop-ups happening on my laptop and I don't know how to get rid of that, so I'm just going to ignore it, pretend like it's not there. It should be fine, yeah. Thank you, Mel. I've only just found her about 2 weeks ago. Oh, thank you. I love you, Mel. Oh, thank you. I love that. Be right back. Isn't it great? It's Mr. Yarniverse put that together for me. I sort of let him know what sort of thing I was after, and he went to work and came up with all these cool screens and all these bits and pieces, and they're just great fun, aren't they? All right, so what else have we got? Congratulations, everyone who's now a member. Absolutely. Welcome. You're all Yarnies now. Made it back in time too. Beautiful. Annette, NKT for me. Yep. Danielle. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thrifty Crocheter is here. Hi, Thrifty Crocheter. Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of doom and gloom and sad things around at the moment, so to be able to focus on something positive and happy is always a good thing, isn't it? Okay. All right, well, let's have a quick look at this beautiful rustic tweed from Bendigo Woolen Mills. So this is the colorway Poseidon. So they're not all this color. This is the Poseidon color, which is why it's that blue shade. It's such a lovely deep blue. It's just beautiful. Those flecks of tweed in through there are just lovely. Really natural little flecks all the way through there. The ply on Bendigo Woolen Mills wool is just amazing. It just looks so wonderful. This is their 8 ply. It does also come in 4 and 10 ply. So this would be your DK weight. Your 10 ply would be your worsted, and your 4 ply is like sock weight. So lovely color, just beautiful. So you would use a 4mm needle with this, or a 4mm crochet hook. And you get 400 meters on a 200-gram ball. So Bendigo Woolen Mills, with their cost effectiveness, they've always sold 200-gram balls. Depending on the range you're after, they have a good couple of ranges. They've got their classic, they've got their luxury, they've got some limited edition or limited time ranges that they bring out from time to time. The rustic tweed is actually a combination of the rustic and the tweed lines that they had previously. They decided to get rid of or discontinue both of those, and they changed it to a combination rustic tweed, which is fantastic, and it's so lovely. Such beautiful different colors. They had a green one, I think that was called Evergreen or something like that. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But this was the one that caught my eye. I've got this earmarked for some slippers and a beanie and stuff for my dad. He hasn't been too well lately, so hopefully I can cheer him up a bit with a beanie and a nice pair of warm slippers. Still haven't decided on a pattern yet for those, so I've had a look around. I thought maybe a nice alpine beanie would look great, like an alpine stitch beanie in this would work really well, because the tweed just works so naturally through that yarn and through that ply. I feel like the the beanie, like the alpine stitch, would look quite well. Would work really well with this yarn, so hopefully that'll look good. Still haven't decided on the slippers. I'm thinking maybe more of a boot than a slipper. Don't know yet. Need to play around with it. There's a couple of different patterns I've been looking at online. I thought of sort of coming up with my own, but I also I like having those go-to patterns where, you know, when you're just a little bit brain dead and you just can't think, and you've got a bit of brain fog happening and you just can't concentrate on doing your own thing. So being able to follow a pattern that's quite either something that you know so well you can do it without even looking at it, or something that you know will work well with what you're using. I love those patterns, those little go-to patterns that are your favorite. Some people have them with blankets, some have them with beanies. I have a few go-to patterns for shawls. For some reason, shawls seem to be my project of choice. Shawls really call to me for some reason, and I think it's because it's a big enough project to get invested in, but it's not a project that will take you months and months and months and months, unless it's a particularly complicated or intricate design. It should, it's a good couple of weeks invested in it. You'd buy some lovely yarn to work in it. You get that pattern, you get those repeats in your mind, and then you can just rotate those repeat rows over and over and over. And there's something about that rhythm and that repetition that I really, really connect with, but I don't want to have to do that for months and months on end. So things like blankets and things are kind of hard for me unless they're very simple. I've been finishing up some granny squares that I found in some thrift stores lately, and they were just too small to donate. I couldn't do anything with them. They were just one being continuous granny square or Van Dyke stitch, but they were too small. So I thought if I grab those and just expand on them, make them a little bit bigger, then I can donate them. And that's what I've been doing. So on those days where I just can't think, but I need to be doing something with my hands, I'll drag those out and just expand on those. So I'm just doing the Van Dyke stitch all the way around and around and around. Occasionally I'll change colours, I'll get through some of my yarn stash, I'll get through some old colours that I haven't worked with for ages, or left over from other projects. And I work through all of that by expanding out these blankets, and then I can donate them. So I'm really looking forward to finishing that. I've got one more that I've just got to weave the ends in, and I've got another one that I actually started so long ago that I really would like to finish, but I keep getting distracted by other things. And isn't that always the way in this community? Just when you think, all right, I'm going to get this done, I'm going to concentrate, I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to get this thing finished once and for all, and you sit down to do it, and then you're scrolling through YouTube and you go, oh, that looks nice. And then it's gone again. So it's one of those blankets that I would like to get back to and I would like to finish. And just recently, actually, I found another yarn. So I'm just going to quickly grab that. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so have a look at this. This is the Abbey Road Because I'm Happy 8 ply, which is 75% acrylic, 25% merino wool. Look at the colorway. Look at that. So the reason I bought this is because I owe a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine that I miss a lot, who used to live very close to us. She gifted me these shelves. So without her, I would be surrounded by a mountain of yarn that I'd be tripping over it every day. She was a lovely dear friend of mine that lived across the road. Actually, she's a friend of both ours, both Mr. Yarniverse and myself. And I made her a shawl in the, what was it? Bell Bird. It was the Fanta Mix. It's a beautiful yarn. When I found out she was moving away, I made her a shawl. And I made it using this beautiful yarn that had all these different colours from her garden. Because when she moved, obviously she's not going to be able to take her garden with her, and her garden was her pride and joy. And we spent a lot of time in there looking after that garden and picking the roses and all those sorts of things. And so I wanted to have a reminder of her garden for her to take with her. So I made her a shawl, and she loved it, absolutely loved it. And that just made my day. And then when she gifted me the shelving, I said, I'm happy to buy it off you. And she said, no, but you know what? I'll take another one of those shawls. And then she sent me a picture and she said, can I please incorporate these colours? And this is almost exactly like the photo that she sent me. So this colourway is just lovely. It was sold out completely at my local Spotlight. This is called Blissful, and I believe all the colorways are named after happiness. So there's cheerful, there's all these sorts of different words for happy, which is lovely. And it's the Abbey Road Because I'm Happy 8-ply, basically acrylic and wool blend. They come in 100 gram balls, and I bought 6 of them so that I can make her excuse me, another shawl. Time for a drink, I think. Oh, that's better. But I just wanted to share that with you. Now, I haven't worked with this before, so if you're watching and you have used it, I think I did see somebody up there by hook or by needle, Sam. Sam's got 4 skeins of the Abbey Road. Yep. It's a brilliant yarn. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's what I wanted to hear. Because I haven't worked with it before, I wasn't sure whether or not it would work up okay. It doesn't look like it's going to catch on my hooks or anything. It doesn't look like it's very loosely plied or anything like that. It doesn't look like a splitty kind of a yarn. It also is quite light. For what it is, it's a very light ball of yarn. But those colorways are just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Princess Leia is saying, I've made a heap of bags in Abbey Road. Oh, that's fantastic. That's lovely. Yolanda likes the colours. That's wonderful. Oh, Melinda, so glad to see you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, how lovely. Rissa, so many people in the chat now. It's so lovely to see. Welcome to anybody who's just joined or anyone who's new. We've just been looking at a couple of different yarns, talking about spinning and learning to spin yarn. Looking at knitting and crochet. Yeah, I have to admit, I'm probably more of a crocheter than a knitter at this point. But I am trying to get back into my knitting. I did finish a beanie. I don't know where that is. I had it in a pile ready to donate, so it's sitting there. I had a bit of trouble decreasing and casting off because I'd started on circular needles and then I had to switch to double pointed needles. And while I was transferring the stitches, I basically got everything all tight and it all I kind of struggled a little bit with it. So I transferred back onto the circular needles and then I ended up having to frog a couple of rows, which was unfortunate. So I frogged quite a bit of it actually, probably about 4 or 5 rows, and then worked out how to put it back on the circular needles. So my mum dropped by and I said, Mum, please help me. And so she helped me with that. So we got it back on the circular needles again, and then I worked out the magic circle for knitters is different to a magic circle for crocheters. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I do know that now. Completely two different things. So I worked that out. Um, I worked out my decreases on the circular needles again, and then I finally got to finish. I finally got to finish my beanie, so that's all done. So I'm very proud of that, but I really enjoyed knitting again. So, and I do have another new knitting project I'd like to start on, so I'll give that a try too. So, sorry, I'm just going to double check the chat again. Somebody asked, is the blue yarn soft? It is quite soft. It is quite soft. Being a pure wool, it's 100% wool, you would expect it to be really itchy or scratchy, and that old school, you know, mum made me a jumper or a sweater when I was a kid and I couldn't stop scratching. You don't get that with modern wools anymore. At least I don't, unless you've got an allergy or something, that might be an issue. But this is 100% pure wool. This is a pure Australian merino wool. It's a really good quality, and for what it is, considering it's 100% wool, it's not itchy or scratchy or rough in any way. It's soft, but it's not as soft as an acrylic. So we know acrylic is always softer than wool, but for a pure wool, this is actually quite soft. It's lovely and it works up beautifully. So I will pop up some community posts on my beanie for my dad. I'll when I'm working with it, and I'll also I'll do maybe like a crochet and a chat catch up video where I talk you through some of the projects that I'm working on, and I'll show you how this actually works up. So I'll get the beanie done and I'll show you what that looks like. I'll show you me working on it so you can see what it looks like to actually work with. So I'll share that with you, and I'll also share that shawl as well. So the pattern that I used for her original shawl was called the Such Simple Shawl by Wilma Westerberg. It's a lovely little pattern, and it's one of those patterns where it's like a 2-row repeat, and it's either 2 rows or 4 rows. I think it might be 4 actually. And you just rotate those 4 rows over and over and over and over until the shawl's the size that you want it to be. And I love those patterns. I love a really good intricate detailed pattern when I'm able to focus, but on those days where I just can't focus, I've got too much brain fog from medications, from migraines and all that sort of thing, but I still want to keep my hands busy. Those go-to patterns that are just a couple of row repeats are just lifesavers. Keep your hands busy, help you to give you a sense of progress and achievement, but not too much brain power. So
People have asked about how soft the Bendigo rustic is.
I did that. Just did that. Thank you.
Sorry, my bad.
Sorry, Mr. Yarniverse popping in again. My chai is lovely. Thank you. The tweed rustics are not the softest, but are very nice. Yeah, they're not because it's pure wool. It's not as soft as an acrylic. So this is softer than this, and that's an acrylic wool blend. But that's mainly acrylic. It's 75% acrylic and then a little bit of wool. This is 100% wool. So wool will always be rougher and not as soft as an acrylic, and acrylic will always be softer. But again, an acrylic is synthetic and a pure wool is a natural fiber, which is why it's not as soft. You won't ever get a really, 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 really soft wool. It will be as soft as you can get it, but an acrylic blend or an acrylic yarn will always be softer. So wool is kind of a compromise because the wool will be more durable, it will last longer, and it will be warmer than an acrylic. An acrylic can sometimes feel warm, but it will be more of almost like a sweaty warm. It will, because it's not a pure fiber. So cotton and wool are natural fibers, and cotton is much more durable, it's much more breathable, and it's light, which is why we use it for spring and summer projects, whereas wool will be warm and it will be more durable. It will last for a very, very long time, but if you look after it, but it will also be quite not as soft as an acrylic. So, but it works up beautifully, which is just great. And Bendigo Woolen Mills, of course, just beautiful quality, beautiful quality. If you're going to work with wool, you want it to be something good. And again, you want to invest in something that's going to last. So Bendigo, just brilliant. So we've got the sheep and wool show coming up in July. Let me just double check the dates on that. All right, let me have a quick look. I did have it. I think it's the 18th through to the 20th. Bear with me for 2 seconds. For this year, let me have a look. Yes, so it's the 18th, 19th, and 20th of July. There are still tickets available if you're an Aussie and you want to go and check out all the different retailers that are going to be there. There are going to be so many stall holders. I mean, we're talking warehouses full of yarn. Multiple warehouses full of yarn. So it's going to be a big show. It's going to be a big show. And yeah, 18th, 19th, and 20th of July. So hopefully we'll have a lot of footage to show you. I am trying not to buy yarn, believe it or not, until I get there, because I basically, one, need my budget, so I don't want to blow my budget, and two, there's going to be so many stall holders at this show. I'm already predicting I'm going to get overwhelmed by the amount of choice available, and two, I have a feeling I'm going to be one of those people that either walks in and buys all the beautiful stuff they see when they walk in the front door and then has no money for the rest, or I'm going to walk around and go, no, I'm not going to buy anything yet. I want to have a look around and see what's available. And then I'll find a couple of really pretty things and go, no, I won't get them now. I'll come back later. And then when I come back, they're gone. So it's going to be one of those sorts of things. And don't worry, I will be taking all of you with me. I will be filming as much as I can. I am going to be pointing the camera at everything that I can while I'm there. So if you're not able to go, or you're going to be overseas at the time, or you're not going to be able to attend, or you're overseas and you're not able to be here, or even if you are a local but you're unavailable that weekend or all that sort of thing, hopefully you'll be able to live vicariously through me and enjoy being able to wander around those stalls and being able to have a look around and see everything that's available. Maybe it's something you've never been to before, so you're interested to see what's going on. You can have a look at this video and decide if it's something you want to put on the social calendar for next year. This is done every year. The only time they didn't do it was during the COVID shutdowns, when everything was in lockdown and no one could go anywhere, but they brought it back again last year, I think. So I missed it last year because I was unwell, but I will definitely be there this year. Even if I have got terrible migraines, I'm going to drag myself around that showgrounds. I am not missing it. So it's going to be fantastic. We're going on the Saturday. That's fantastic. That's awesome. I think I'm hoping to go on the Friday, because I'm assuming a lot of other people will still be at work, which will hopefully make it easier for us to be able to film. I don't like filming people without their consent or their permission. There's nothing worse than stepping out in your tracky ducks and you've got your hair pulled back because you haven't washed it, and you're breaking out with pimples and everything, and you just thought you'd duck out to the local shops and then someone shoves a camera in your face. That would be awful. So and just in general, you're yarn shopping, you're there to have a look at the yarn, you're there to have some fun, you're there to have an experience, and you don't want to be on someone's camera. You don't know what they're doing with that, so I don't want to do that to anybody. So I'm hoping if we go on the Friday, there may not be as many people as there will be on the Saturday and Sunday, which means I'll hopefully have a better chance of being able to film without getting people on screen. it's probably going to be unavoidable at this point because there's going to be hundreds of people there, but I'll do my best. And we're not interested in looking at the people, we're interested in looking at the yarn. So hopefully I'll do an okay job. I love being able to take you guys with me. There are so many different events and experiences that I want people to be able to share with, and be part of. And again, just fostering that sense of community and camaraderie, and being able to share all of that with all of you is my top priority with this channel, is being able to share experiences, share knowledge, be able to help each other out and be supportive of each other. It's my main priority, is creating that sense of community for anybody who needs it, and being able to help each other out and to share these experiences. So I can share with you what different yarn retailers are out there, what's the quality of their yarn like, what does it look like, how does it work up, is it cost effective, is it a yarn that you might have to save up for but it will be worth it when you get it, all those sorts of things. Are these crochet hooks any good? When I do reviews, that's my main focus, is to bring you that information so that you can do with that what you will. You can either learn that this is a fantastic wool and I'd like to invest in that, or that's a crochet hook I'm a bit curious about and I'd like to know what it looks like and how it works before I invest in it. Bearing in mind that I know that things are really expensive, everyone's on a budget, things are getting more and more expensive as the day goes by, so being able to craft on a budget is a huge important thing for me. I know that I love to be able to take you guys out with me and to potter around and poke around in thrift stores. That's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing to do, and to be able to share that with you and share that it is possible to be able to craft on a budget, that this is doable, and to be able to save a bit of money but also be able to keep doing what you love. I know how important it is to have your crochet and your knitting and your crafts as almost as a source of therapy, isn't it, really, when you need to relax and you need to calm down or you need to focus or any of that. To be able to do that and not have it cost an arm and a leg is really important. So that's what I try to do. Hello, Mr. Universe.
Hello. You've been on for an hour and a half. So
wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so with all of that said, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for all of your thanks and your support and your well wishes. Thank you, Tanya, for my lovely package that you sent me. Yes, I'm definitely going to have to make some more granny squares, some all-in-one granny squares. I wasn't going to do that, you know that. But now I'm going to have to. Thank you, Sam, for all the by hooks or by needles. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships. What a lovely thing to do. That's just so generous. Thank you so much. Thank you to Megan and Carol and Darren and Sandra, to everybody that's commented, to Melinda. Thank you so much. I feel like we're probably getting quite late in the day for a lot of you and quite late at night for a lot of you. So I'm just going to wrap it up now. So thank you so much for everything. Oh, I got my Chopper Chop back. He didn't need it.
Congratulations, Chopper Chop.
I got my Chopper Chop back. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You've all been so wonderful. Thank you for tuning in today and for chatting away. If I did miss any questions or comments, when it goes up on the channel, I will read through them and I'll get back to you when I can. So please don't think I was ignoring you or anything like that. I've just missed the chat as it's gone through. So I will see them and I will comment back to you. So thank you so much. Once again, thank you all for just being so supportive and so lovely. It just really warms the heart to know that you're all out there and you're all rooting for me and you're all happy to be part of this community. And I just love you guys. Thank you so much. It's just so wonderful. All right, with all of that said, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, Roz is now a Yanni. Welcome, Roz. Welcome to the group. Thank you so much. Aw, thank you so much, everybody. You're all so wonderful. I love you guys so much, and I will hopefully see you in the next live. All right, guys, take care. Thank you. See you next time. Okay, bye.